All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jemma, Shubu, Shalom to the elect. I was looking into, because there's recently been like national news, there's a HGV, driver shortage. You just read some of them. Tesco and Iceland bosses born over Christmas supplies. Shops could see Christmas shortages over driver issues. Now, if you look into it, this is The Guardian. It says employees have been told to invest in UK-based workers rather than relying on labour from abroad as supermarkets and suppliers struggle to contend with a chronic shortage of lorry drivers caused by the exodus of haulers from EU countries because of Brexit and COVID. Now, even in the industry I'm in, I see a lot of these HGV drivers, and quite a few of them are like Eastern European and that. The business secretary Kwasi Kwarteng, he sounds to be Ghanaian, wrote to business leaders on Friday saying foreign labour only offered a short-term temporary solution after industry groups Logistics UK and British Retail Consortium (BRC) called on the department to provide temporary UK visas to EU truck drivers. They said the lack of drivers was increasingly putting unsustainable pressure on retailers and their supply chains. So this is part of them plagues, man. I want to get that. Where is it? This is 2nd Esdras 16:14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those times. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning of sorrows. These people are not even managing their economy properly, and this is let's get that. This is Matthew 12:25. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So, these people are divided amongst themselves, man, because some of them, are happy with the COVID restriction and all of this stuff, but obviously there's consequences for that. And because of the lockdowns and stuff like that, the people who are already qualified aren't able to like retake their tests, and be qualified to be able to drive these vehicles, because you need to be trained every, I think, something competence professional something. It's like a CPC license, where basically is valid for like a period of 5 years, and they have to take that to be able to hold on to their licenses, as well as having to resit the test. Because even here in the UK, after the age of 70, I believe you have to retake your license every 3 years. Ministers have told businesses to hire UK-based workers to address the country's chronic shortage of lorry drivers, as hundreds of thousands of Britons prepare to leave the COVID-19 furlough scheme. And this already happened in America. So this guy's name again, I don't even know who he is. Let's see who this is. Which probably isn't a Jake if he's messing with them, but okay, who knows, man. Oh man, he looks double gone, bro. Jesus. So let me try to say, yeah. Oh, that's probably his wife, man. I'm just gonna leave that because that's neither here or there. Let's see. Food firm in drastic action amid driver shortage. A company which supplies food to care homes and restaurants says it is taking drastic action to try to get round the shortage of UK lorry drivers. The boss of Country Range said the group was buying smaller vans in the face of significant problems caused by a lack of qualified HGV drivers. Now, those people with a van license, if you have a van license, you're able to drive anything up to 3.5 tons. To get HGV license, which is a heavy goods vehicle, or they call it LGV, which is long goods vehicle, it gives you the right to drive anything between 3 and 7.5 tons and over 7.5 tons. Now, if you have a van license. You're not able to transport certain things like forklifts and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to move that on a van. So you do need these workers. You know what I mean? But obviously, because Esau basically fumbled the bag, he's now having all this stuff falling on his head. Managing director Coral Rose said the issue was going to get worse as schools and offices return to normal. And right now is the summer period, but they're returning to school in September. You know what I mean? So obviously it's going to get a whole lot worse. On Wednesday, both Tesco and Iceland said that there could be some shortages on the shelves in the run up to the key Christmas trading period, which would be, what is it, October, November, leading up to December. A combination of COVID, Brexit, and other factors has meant there are not enough drivers to meet demand. The Road Haulage Association estimates there is now a shortage of more than 100,000 drivers in the UK out of a pre-pandemic total of 600,000. That number includes tens of thousands of drivers from EU member states who were living and working in the UK even before COVID. The estimated shortage was about 60,000 drivers. Damn. Country ranges a group of. I'm not going to get into all of that, man. It's got to do with training and probably some stuff like that. Iceland and Tesco warn of Christmas shortages from HGV crisis as it happened. It is the same thing as what happened last Christmas, man. Because last Christmas, all the mirth is gone, and you just see the mirth slowly being sucked out of this place because now they're not able to get their goods. These people are miserable because this is just pretty much a shitty existence, and the only way you're able to distract yourself from it is by buying things and stuffing your face with food, alcohol, drugs, consumer goods. And obviously, if these people aren't able to get that, the mirth is pretty much going to shrivel up, and they're going to be faced with a stark reality of reality. You know what I mean? You're going to have to face what's really going on in your country, and these people. It's like the only reason why these people went rioting is because they were distracted. Even people have said, if you take away these people's alcohol, cigarettes, and their drugs, these people are going to wild out. And you have to think a lot of quote unquote weed and other drugs come in through smuggling through these vehicles and stuff like that. And if you're closing the borders and you're shutting it down due to COVID, what's going to happen? Your drug supplies are going to shrivel up, the prices are going to increase, it's going to be inflation all around. So all of these things have a knock-on effect, and these people know it's happening. Right now it's like a bottleneck. At some point, it's going to choke. If you look at traffic and you have you say you have like 5 lanes of traffic, and then you get to a point where there's only 1 lane of traffic, and then them 4 lanes are closed. What happens there? You get a bottleneck. You know what I mean? And what happens if somebody crashes on that 1 lane? Is going to have an ongoing effect going all the way back, and that's what's going to happen to these people, man. Finally, here's our news story about how the UK supply chain crisis could scupper English word scupper the festive season unless the HGV driver shortage is tackled fast. The government is under pressure to relax post-Brexit migration rules to unblock Britain's worst supply chain crisis since the 1970s, with business leaders warning that continued disruption could ruin Christmas. And this is worse than 1970s because you have all these other issues which will basically affect it, because in the 1970s there wasn't COVID, you weren't having the economy deflated, inflation wasn't as bad as it is now. You didn't have technology and basically AI and all this new quote unquote artificial intelligence replacing people's bosses. Even in the UK, you're having people losing their jobs from self checkouts because they're having self checkouts and stuff like that. Industry estimates put the shortage of workers needed to drive lorries, handle goods in warehouses, and pick fruit and vegetables at hundreds of thousands. Company bosses and trade groups are now warning that if ministers refuse to allow more EU workers into the UK, they'll risk a deeper crisis this winter. Now, you have a fundamental problem in your country when you need people to come into your country to keep it afloat. And this is what this country is like. This country really itself is not valuable. Its value is that people perceive that it's worth something, so they come in, and they, people are worth money. You know what I mean? So if people are trying to get into your country, they're going to create industries off the back of that. You know, if you have Indians moving in now, these Indians are going to create industries selling herbs and spices, so on and so forth. That things that are specific to their culture. So new industries branch up from people coming into your country. From when people are not able to come into this country, they're not going to be able to do that. You know, a lot of industries are going to suffer and shrivel up as a result. The chairman of Tesco, the UK's largest supermarket group, called for more drivers to meet an estimated 100,000 shortfall. I think there may be some shortages at Christmas, he warned. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. At the moment, we're running very hard just to keep on top of the existing demand, and there isn't the capacity to build stocks that we'd like to see. And I can attest to that because, again, I work, in an industry where I'm around van drivers and HGV drivers and stuff like that, and even a lot of the time, I see drivers not being able to make deliveries because things haven't, you know, been delivered on time. You've got all this shopping to go and deliver to customers or whatever, and here you are, you're waiting on bread. You know what I mean? You can't even go out and deliver the stuff because you're waiting on stuff, and this is gonna get worse and worse. Proverbs 26:27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. So he digged the pit to basically put everybody in a situation where they weren't able to do certain things without, you know, facts on wax, without getting that wax. And now they're having to deal with the consequences of that. And I was watching a video from one of the brothers, and he was talking about a lot of these truckers. They're not gonna want to deal with that. They're not gonna take that because you got to realize a lot of truckers is a very masculine industry. It's not like the hospitality industry or like the medical industry, which has a lot of I don't even know the appropriate word for that, but a lot of them are a lot more malleable. Doctors are a lot more willing to go along with things. Truckers, people who do like manly work, they pretty much they do whatever the hell they want. They're in that masculine spirit, you know what I mean? And they're not gonna go along with whatever you say. They're more like right wing people. People in the medical industry, they're more on the left, in my opinion. It probably could be backed up by statistical fact, but there it is. Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency shall be his straits, every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. And the elder was talking about how, the wicked goes back to the word labor or laborer. And and I looked it up in the Blue Bible, where it says Amel, labor, take, workman, misery. So there is H6001, Amel. I don't know, or Amil. I don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah, there it is. I think there was another definition. Where is it? Labor, mischief. Yeah, Amal and Amil. So labor, laborer. So, all these people, their hands are going to be on Esau. Because at the end of the day, people aren't getting their goods. What does I say? When people have nothing to lose, they lose it. You know what I mean? So, this is what these people want anyway. It's what they think they want. But at the end of the day, the Lord is in charge of all this. And when it happens, they think that they're gonna rise like a phoenix from the ashes, but it's gonna be Jake that's gonna rise from the ashes like the phoenix, not them. They got the game all twisted. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to say all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Kahala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises to the Most High. Blessings to the elders and apostles of Jemesh, will well, shalom to the elect.